Sophia, 32, is no ordinary maid. She's got hazel eyes that seem to hold 1,000 stories, a soft voice that soothes like a lullaby, and hands worn from years of hard work. She came from nothing, orphaned at 15, running from an abusive home, scraping by with odd jobs until landing this gig at the Harrington mansion. To Alexander, she's just the help, blending into the background like the polished silver she cleans. But to Tommy, she's magic. She's the one who kneels to tie his shoes, bakes his favorite chocolate chip cookies, and reads him adventure stories until he falls asleep. When he woke screaming from nightmares about the crash, it was Sophia who held him, humming softly, promising the monsters wouldn't win. She taught him to ride a bike in the mansion's sprawling gardens, cheering louder than any crowd when he wobbled forward. "You're my hero, Tommy," she'd say, ruffling his hair. He'd beam, calling her soft like she was family. But she's careful, never crossing the line, knowing her place in this world of wealth. Alexander, though, feels the weight of his broken family. Late one night, in his oak-paneled study, he stares at Elena's portrait, her smile frozen in time. Whiskey burns his throat as he mutters, "I'm failing him, Elena. Tommy needs a mother." The idea hits like a lightning bolt. He'll find a new wife, someone perfect, and let Tommy choose. It's logical, efficient, like closing a business deal. He hires an elite matchmaking service, demanding women who check every box: beauty, brains, status. Within weeks, 5 candidates are selected, each a star in her own right. There's Victoria, 35, a Hollywood actress with cascading blonde hair and a trophy case of awards. Isabella, 38, a Parisian art dealer with a velvet accent and a knack for spotting masterpieces. Gabriella, 33, a tech genius who built a startup from her dorm room. Lila, 36, a fashion designer whose gowns grace runways worldwide. And Monique, 40, a philanthropist who throws charity balls for the 1%. They're the cream of the crop, vetted to fit the Harrington legacy. The big day arrives, and the mansion's ballroom is transformed into a stage for destiny. Crystal chandeliers cast rainbows across marble floors. A red carpet stretches before the 5 women, each in a gown that costs more than Sophia's yearly salary. Tommy, in a tiny navy suit, looks like a miniature Alexander, but his hands fidget, and his eyes dart nervously. Alexander stands tall, his voice booming. "Tommy, these women are the best of the best. One will be your new mother. Choose the one who makes you feel safe, loved, happy." The women step forward, each trying to win him over. Victoria kneels, her perfume dizzying, and hands him a signed poster. "We'll walk red carpets together, little star." Isabella offers a tiny painting, her smile practiced. "Museums, mon cher, just you and me." Gabriella pulls out a sleek drone, winking. "We'll build the future, kid." Lila twirls, her dress shimmering. Fashion adventures await. Monique slips a charity bracelet onto his wrist. "We'll save the world, side by side." Tommy nods politely, but his gaze keeps sliding to the doorway, where Sophia stands, quietly polishing a tray, her apron smudged from baking cookies that morning. The room holds its breath as Alexander nudges Tommy. "Go on, son. Pick." The boy's heart thumps so loud he's sure everyone hears it. He thinks of Sophia, how she stayed up late helping him with math when Alexander was in Tokyo, how she defended him when kids at school mocked him for being the rich kid with no mom. She's not glamorous like these women, with their perfect smiles and designer bags. She's real. She's the one who knows he hates broccoli but loves extra cheese on his pizza. She's the one who listens when he talks about missing his mom, never rushing him, always there. Taking a deep breath, Tommy steps forward, his small voice cutting through the silence. "Her." He points, not at the lineup, but at Sophia. "I choose Sophia." The room erupts in gasps. Victoria's smile freezes. Isabella's eyes narrow. Gabriella drops her drone. Lila scoffs, and Monique mutters, "Ridiculous." Alexander's face turns crimson. "The maid," he roars. "She's not even an option." But Tommy stands firm, tears brimming. "She loves me, Dad." Not your money. Just me. The women storm out, heels clicking like gunfire. Victoria hisses, this is humiliating. Isabella mutters French curses. Gabriella snaps, a waste of time. Lila and Monique follow, leaving a trail of perfume and indignation. Alexander grabs Tommy's arm, pulling him to a corner. Explain yourself. She's just the help. Tommy's voice shakes but holds strong. When you're gone, she's there. She makes me breakfast, tells me about Mom so I don't forget her. That's what a mother does. Alexander's anger battles his shock. He sends Tommy to his room and summons Sophia, who's trembling in the kitchen, flowers still on her cheek. Pack your things, he snaps. This is absurd. Sophia nods, eyes down, and retreats to her tiny room above the garage. Alone, she sits on her bed, clutching a worn photo of her younger self, dreaming of a family she never had. I knew I didn't belong, she whispers, packing her few belongings, a few dresses, a book of poems, a locket Tommy made her from craft beads. That night, Alexander paces his study, Tommy's words echoing. He remembers glimpses of Sophia's care, how she planned Tommy's last birthday, decorating with handmade banners because the party planner cancelled. How she stayed through a blizzard to calm Tommy's fears of thunder. Doubt creeps in. Has he been blind? He glances at Elena's portrait, her eyes seeming to judge him. Meanwhile, Tommy sneaks to Sophia's room, knocking softly. Don't go, Soph, he begs through the door. You're my real mom. Sophia chokes back sobs, sliding to the floor, unable to answer. Morning comes, and Alexander confronts her before she leaves. Why him, he demands. Sophia's voice is steady despite her tears. Tommy's my heart, sir. I've got no family, no kids, life took that from me. But he gave me a reason to keep going. She tells him her story, orphaned young, escaping abuse, pouring her love into others. I never meant to cause trouble. Alexander's walls crack. He calls Tommy in, and they sit, really talking for the first time in years. Tommy spills memories, Sophia cheering at his soccer games, sewing his torn backpack, teaching him to plant daisies because they were Elena's favorite. She's like Mom, Dad. She cares. Alexander's throat tightens. He sees his mistake, chasing perfection, he ignored the love right under his roof. But pride holds him back. Society won't accept this, he says. Tommy's eyes flash. Who cares? We need her. In a fit of frustration, Alexander fires Sophia, saying, this is for the best. Tommy runs after her as she heads to the gate, hugging her legs. Don't go, Mommy Sophia. The word mommy hits Alexander like a punch, stirring memories of Elena calling Tommy her little prince. He freezes, watching them cling to each other in the driveway. Days pass, and the mansion feels like a tomb. Without Sophia, meals are cold takeout, bedtime is silent, and Tommy withdraws, sketching pictures of her and hiding them. Alexander hires nannies, but they're stiff, transactional. One night, he finds Tommy's letter under a pillow. Dad, I chose Sophia because she's like Mom, kind, always there. Bring her back. Guilt drowns him. He tracks Sophia to a rundown apartment across town, where she's searching for jobs. Knocking on her door, he sees her, tired but dignified, in a faded sweater. I was wrong, he says, voice breaking. Tommy needs you. We need you. Sophia hesitates. I'm just a maid, Mr. Harrington. Your world, he cuts her off. My world's empty without my son's smile. They talk, Alexander opening up about Elena's death, how work buried his grief. Sophia listens, her empathy disarming him. A spark flickers, something beyond gratitude. He invites her back, not as staff, but as family. Tommy's joy explodes as he hugs her, crying. The Harrington mansion hums with new life, but the air crackles with tension. Sophia's back, not as a maid, but as a family advisor, Alexander's clever way to ease her into their world without raising too many eyebrows. Tommy's over the moon, his laughter bouncing off the marble walls like it hasn't in years. At 8, with his mother's locket still clutched tight, he's found his spark again, thanks to Sophia. She's 32, with hazel eyes that hold a quiet strength, and she's careful, tiptoeing around her new role. Alexander, the 42-year-old billionaire with a heart caged by grief and pride, watches her closely. He's given her a guest room, insisting she pursue online courses in child psychology, her dream, one she'd buried under years of scrubbing floors. "You're not staff anymore," he tells her, his voice softer than usual. Tommy calls her Mom when no one's listening, and it makes her heart ache with joy and fear. She knows this fairy tale could crumble, evenings transform into something warm, almost magical. The three of them gather by the fireplace, playing board games, Tommy giggling as Sophia cheats at Monopoly, slipping him extra fake money. She shares folktales from her childhood, stories of resilience from a life of struggle, while Alexander counters with tales of corporate battles, his voice loosening with every laugh. Tommy soaks it up, sketching them as a family in his notebook. But Alexander's noticing things: Sophia's gentle way of calming Tommy's tantrums, how she hums Elena's favorite lullaby without knowing it. One night, as she tucks Tommy in, Alexander lingers in the doorway, his pulse quickening. She's not just kind, she's radiant, her strength forged in a past he's only beginning to understand. He pushes the feeling down. A billionaire and a former maid? It's unthinkable. Outside, Evergreen Heights buzzes with gossip. At a glitzy charity gala, Victoria, the Hollywood actress who lost her shot at being Tommy's mom, corners Alexander. Her red lips curl into a sneer. Falling for the maid? How quaint. Cameras flash as paparazzi catch Sophia pushing Tommy on a park swing, headlines screaming, "Billionaire's son picks servant over socialites, romance or ruin." Alexander's empire takes a hit, stocks dip, investors whisper about his poor judgment. His PR team swarms, urging him to cut ties with Sophia. "It's a PR nightmare, sir. She's a liability." Tommy overhears, his small fists clenched. "If you make her leave, I'll hate you forever, Dad," he shouts, storming off. Alexander's torn, his son's happiness versus his legacy. Defiant, he invites Sophia to the next gala as his date to silence the rumors. She hesitates, her old insecurities flaring, but agrees, borrowing a sapphire gown from Lila, the fashion designer who's softened toward her. At the gala, Sophia's no starlet, but her warmth disarms skeptics as she talks passionately about helping kids from broken homes. Alexander watches, pride swelling, and something else, desire. The bond deepens in quiet moments. One rainy afternoon, with Tommy napping, Alexander and Sophia talk in the library, rain pattering against the windows. She opens up about her past, an abusive ex, Marco, who controlled her until she fled at 19. "I swore I'd never let anyone in again," she admits, her voice barely a whisper. Alexander confesses his own scars, how he was arguing with Elena on the phone when she crashed, how guilt has chained him since. Their hands brush, and before they know it, they're kissing, soft, electric, a collision of two broken souls. "This is insane," Sophia breathes, pulling back. "You're my boss." He shakes his head. "Not anymore. You're more." But trouble looms. Marco, her ex, has seen the headlines and tracks her down, demanding cash to stay quiet about her shady past, lies he spun to extort her. He corners her at the mansion's gate, grabbing her arm. Tommy sees, screaming, "Leave her alone." Alexander rushes out, fury blinding him, and punches Marco, sending him sprawling. Security drags the man away, but Sophia's shaking. "I bring chaos," she says, tears falling. "Maybe I don't belong here." Alexander pulls her close. "We face this together." Tommy, sensing the spark between them, turns matchmaker. He leaves drawings of Mom, Dad, and me on Alexander's desk, grinning when they blush. To escape the city's prying eyes, Alexander whisks them to his private island, a paradise of turquoise waves and palm trees. There, they're just a family. Sophia teaches Tommy to weave palm fronds, Alexander learns to peel mangoes, laughing at his clumsy attempts. Under starry skies, they share dreams. Sophia wants to start a foundation for abused women, Alexander vows to fund it. But a hurricane hits, forcing them into a cabin. Huddled together, secrets spill. Sophia reveals she can't have kids, a scar from Marco's abuse, which is why Tommy means everything to her. "You're my son," she tells him, tears in her eyes. Alexander admits he's scared to love again, but Tommy's choice showed him what matters. The storm passes, but back in Evergreen Heights, Marco escalates, suing Alexander for assault, dragging Sophia's name through the tabloids with fake stories of her past. The pressure mounts. Alexander's rivals seize the scandal, poaching clients, threatening his empire. At a tense board meeting, a shareholder snaps, "Your love life's tanking us." Victoria slinks back, offering to marry him to fix the image. "Think of the optics," she purrs. Alexander's tempted, not for love, but to save his company. He confides in Sophia, who's crushed but nods. "If that's what you need, do it." Her selflessness stings him. Tommy overhears and storms in, eyes blazing. "Dad, you promised we'd choose love, like Mom wanted." Sophia's love. His words hit like a hammer, cracking Alexander's resolve. He calls a press conference, standing tall with Tommy and Sophia at his side. "My son taught me something," he declares to the cameras. "Wealth means nothing without heart. Sophia's our family." The crowd murmurs, then erupts in applause as the story goes viral, a tale of love over status. Social media dubs it, the Maid's triumph, and stocks rebound as the public rallies behind them. Marco's lies unravel in court, Alexander's investigators expose his criminal record, and the lawsuit collapses. Sophia's name is cleared, but she's still wary, fearing she'll never fit in Alexander's world. On Tommy's 9th birthday, Alexander plans a surprise in the same ballroom where it all began. As Tommy blows out his candles, Alexander kneels before Sophia, holding a ring, Tommy grinning beside him. "You're our forever," Alexander says. "Marry me." Tommy chimes in, "Please, Mom." Sophia's tears spill as she nods, whispering, "Yes." The wedding is small, just close friends who stood by them, no paparazzi. Tommy walks her down the aisle, whispering, "Thanks for choosing us." Years later, they're a family, adopting a little girl who calls Sophia Mama, Alexander balancing work with picnics, Sophia running her foundation, helping women escape abuse. The mansion's no longer cold, it's alive with love.